We are covering the DECIDE model, a critical topic under Aeronautical Decision Making, or ADM, for the FAA Part 107 exam. The DECIDE model is a six-step, systematic process for making sound decisions during flight operations, especially under pressure. It stands for detect, estimate, choose, identify, do, and evaluate. The FAA puts this on the exam because they want to ensure that in an emergency, you have a structured framework to rely on instead of making impulsive, gut-based decisions that can lead to accidents. Let's break down each step from an exam perspective. First is detect. This means recognizing that a change has occurred or that an expected change did not. An exam question might present a scenario like, during a pre-planned mapping mission, you observe cumulus clouds forming and darkening more rapidly than forecasted. Your first action, according to the DECIDE model, is to detect this change. Next is estimate. The need to react. This involves assessing the severity of the situation. Is this a minor inconvenience or a critical threat? In our weather scenario, you would estimate the risk posed by a potential thunderstorm, considering factors like strong winds, lightning, and loss of visual line of sight. The exam will test if you can differentiate between a low-risk change and one that requires immediate action. The third step is choose a desirable outcome. This is not about picking a specific action yet, but defining what a successful resolution looks like. For the developing storm, the most desirable outcome is to safely land the drone before the hazardous weather arrives. An exam trap here is to confuse this with the next step. Choose is the what. For example, land the aircraft safely. Fourth is identify actions to achieve that outcome. This is the how. What are your options? You could return to the launch point, or perhaps there's a closer, pre-identified alternate landing zone. You might identify the need to fly at a lower altitude to avoid increasing winds. An exam question could ask you to select the most logical action from a list of options to achieve the chosen safe outcome. Fifth is do the necessary action. You've made your choice, now you must execute it. This means actively piloting the drone along the identified path back to the safe landing zone. Finally, and this is a continuous loop, you evaluate the effect of your action. Is your chosen course of action working? As you fly toward the landing zone, you must evaluate if the drone is making sufficient headway against the wind and if the battery life is adequate. If not, you may need to reinitiate the DECIDE process, perhaps choosing a new, closer landing spot. On the exam, expect scenario-based questions that describe an in-flight problem, like a lost link, unexpected obstacle, or rapidly depleting battery, and ask you to identify the correct step within the DECIDE model. A common confusion point is the difference between choose and identify. Remember the mnemonic: choose the goal, identify the path. First, you choose the goal of a safe landing. Then you identify the specific path and actions to get there. Don't just decide what to do in an emergency. Use DECIDE to ensure a structured and safe response. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.